Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to the video. I am Veeraj. Today we are meeting here for the purpose of discussing how to prepare the CA intermediate law paper. What are the tricks, what are the tips which are to be done for the purpose of acing in the examination. Sir, how do we score exemption in CA intermediate law? Sir, we are aiming for the all India rank. Sir, what the tips and tricks we have to do? All those things we are going to discuss here in this video. As you know the thumbnail, the same thing. So first things first, I am making this video for the foundation recently passed students or the students who are already completed the CA intermediate law classes. I am making this for CA intermediate law, even it is coming for CA intermediate audit also. So I am just now talking about the CA intermediate law part. So the students who has completed the last syllabus classes are the students who are going to start the law classes, either from us or from anybody who is in the market. So it is up to you. So the tips and tricks which I followed while I was studying for CA intermediate law, how I secured exemption in CA intermediate law, that is what I am just sharing it. It is just my personal experience which has happened in my CA intermediate as well as CA finals with respect to law as well as audit. So first things first. First thing we have to complete the classes. This is very important. So, sir, I want to do the self-study, that's okay, but I suggest you, because the level of depth, the question paper being asked in the examination by ICI, I suggest you, if you can afford it, then don't think twice, just join any of the classes. So, it is better and it is good for your examination angle also, better to complete the classes, because it is not just about the content, it is even the strategies that the faculty share in the classes. Again, the type of question that is being solved in the classes after each and every chapter. So I suggest you try to complete the classes. So this is the first step which I always recommend. Based on this only, it is like a fundamental or it is like a base, based on which everybody will, like I am going to develop my strategy. Once you complete that classes, see classes, why do we attend the classes? That is like for the purpose of understanding how the things has to be, like for example, because it is a law, for the foundation students it might be a regular thing which I have already done in the CA foundation, but for the direct entry students it is like a new thing. They might be studying it for the first time, unless until it is the become some basic part will be there. The real learning of the law, how do we interpret, there is a chapter called as interpretation of statutes also. So this will be a, like one bigger task for the people. So that is why I suggest you to go for classes. First things first. After that, whenever you are reading, I am talking about the reading. See, I have two concepts. One is the reading part, second one is the revision part. I am just talking about the reading. Once you complete the class, I am talking this reading part. Always read from main material. Sir, what is meant by main material? If you are doing the self-study, which I don't recommend generally, if you can afford it, go for the class. So if you are doing it from the self-study, then ICA material is the biggest and very useful source of material. So you can go through it. If you have joined somewhere classes or if you have taken classes from us, we have anywhere class materials. So always go through that material. Entirely I am talking about the main material. So after you read the main material, sir, how do we read that main material? So whenever you are reading the main material, I am talking about the reading part now. Try to write some keywords in your own language. So what is this trying to write the keywords in your own language? I am trying to tell that, for example, you are reading one section, for example, section 42, private placement. Sir, I am not able to understand this, what is this private placement? But while we were going for the classes, the faculty has given one example. This is what this section 42, section 70, 75, 100, 96. So try to write few keywords, which we used to do like it is here. So we write something like this. Maybe if you are from Kannada medium, you can write in Kannada also. It is just for understanding purpose I am talking. It is not for going for the examination. See, the higher the understanding you have with respect to subject, the higher the retention will be there. Higher the things which you can go and exhibit in the examination. That is why I always suggest you to go for understanding the things first. Understanding is very core important, because you can't mug up each and everything and you can't go and reproduce in the examination. So go for writing everything in some keywords so that you can recall the concept easily when you go for further revisions or something like that. So this is the thing. Complete the classes, start reading, and whenever you are reading, if the examples are already there, you try to write that examples or some keywords in your own local language, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So after you reading, consider you are reading chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, something you are reading. Once you complete a chapter, try to always attempt the questions. Try to always attempt the questions. Sir, what do you mean by the questions? If you are doing from ICA material, at the back of ICA material, there are so many chapter-wise questions are there. In between the chapter also, there are some illustrations. In between the chapters, there are some again exercise questions. So at the end also it is there, MCQ are also there, descriptive is also there. Try to complete that chapter and complete the questions immediately. Don't keep that as a pending part. Okay, let me complete all the concept first, all the 10 chapters Companies Act, then I will come for doing the question answer. Don't do that mistake. So many of the students which are doing that, again once they shifted to the chapter wise revision and chapter wise doing the questions part, they saw the tremendous improvement in that. That is what I am trying to share. That once you complete, for example, share capital and debentures, do the questions immediately. Sir, where do we do the question? If you are from ICA, anyway you have that source. If you are our class material, definitely if you are our class students, we have something called as question bank, which we give it for every student in the class. So you can do that questions from each and every chapter. Once you read the concept book of ours, then you can do the question bank. That consists of, like, mainly we have not prepared any question bank out of nowhere. We prepared entirely. See, our main focus is to make you pass in the examination. That is why entire question bank which we prepared is from ICAI sources only. No other questions nowhere. So what is ICAI sources? We have previous year papers, we have RTP questions, we have MTP questions. Even we have some ICAI module questions also, but wherever it is some repeated part, we just combine that into a single question. We made one elaborated question and kind of thing we made it. So MCQ parts also you can do that from our question bank and everything. So all these things are given. One good factor for you is we have given it in a chapter wise format. You complete the concept book one chapter, immediately after that you open the question bank, first chapter, some 20-25 questions are there, some 5-10 MCQs are there, do it immediately, then it's sorted. So do it on an immediate basis. So don't keep postponing the questions doing. So anyway I read the concept, anyway I can remember the concept. See, remembering the concept is, I agree, that is definitely important, but you should know how the different types of questions are being asked in the examination. Based on which only we have to go and answer in the examination. Sir, I know the concept. If a question is asked specifically from, consider one concept as some 10 points, out of which the question has come from a single point. You can't keep on writing all the 10 points, which is time consuming also, which is unnecessarily, like you will get tension out of the 3 hours, because you are spending so much amount of time on a single question which is not required to be spent. So that is why I always suggest you to go for chapter wise questions immediately and do that. Sir, how do I do the chapter wise questions? So I'll cover that in the next upcoming point. After that, once you do the reading and doing the question bank or chapter wise questions from the sources, try to how do I'm talking about the revision part now. You revise the concept. Once you revise the concept, again try to go for not all the questions, few questions which you marked it as important while doing the questions bank first time. So try to open that question. For example, there is a question to be in the examination is like section 55, share premium money, application of the share premium money. Whenever the company issues the shares at a price more than the face value will go to share capital account. The remaining money will definitely go to a separate account called as security premium account, that is share premium account. So whatever the share premium account or security premium account is there, that money can be utilized only for few purposes. So if you see the question, application of security premium money, just see the question, close your eyes, try to think, try to link. Okay, this question is from section 55, which comes from share capital and debentures chapter. So section 55 talks about application of share premium money. So share premium money can be applied for 5 purposes mainly. One is for issue of fully paid up bonus shares or buyback or issue expenses, or maybe preliminary rating of a preliminary expense. So many 5 types of expenditure. Try to recall from your mind only. always don't try to read the question, read the answer, read the question, read the answer. Don't go for that, because that is it is like you are not putting your brain for work. Unless until you give the work to this, you are not going to retain that. So for the first time, you might not recollect all the 5 points, but try harder so that you can see anything which the brain has. One thing, brain always thinks that, or always try to give you a signal that whatever you are doing, keep doing that. For example, you might have analyzed that whenever you are scrolling the reels in the mobile phone, you feel like simply scrolling only. Whenever you are doing the jogging or whenever you are doing the running, you feel like, okay, I'll do fun. Mind says that, okay, whatever you are doing, you just do it. Continue to do it. Shifting the mind is a big problem for many people. So try to break that barricade between the mind and that pattern, and then you will definitely carry out that. So read the question, only read the question part. Try to analyze the answer, what it is applicable for these things. Once you analyze the answer, then try to check the answers which are there in the question bank. For our students, it is from the question bank, or you go for any sources which you are studying for questions. So once you do that, compare what answer you have taught and what answer is there in the material. Try to compare how much percentage of the answer is being almost near to that thing. Yes sir, we can match up to 80%, then you are on the safer side. Don't worry, because you are still doing the first revision. After that, you have to still do the writing practice, you have to still give the mock test. There are so many things up there. At least you can match 70-80% in the first thing, then you are at the right thing. So why this 70-80% cannot be achieved? There will be some hindrances. For example, if you, as I discussed in point number 2, if I am trying to think like, sir, I will complete first all the concept book, then I will come back to the questions. Then it is like completing 148 sections once, then again coming from reading the question and writing the answer for section number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is too difficult. But if you read 10 sections or maybe 5 sections, if you break it down everything into a part, and you start reading the question, you start recollecting the answer, it is a fresh concept, fresh question and fresh answer. So the moment something comes out of your mind, or you like answer is almost near, then you feel like so happiness or something like that. So you try to, there is a chance of being retained for longer duration of time. So before that goes out of your mind, for example, you are reading chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So then you felt like, no, I am forgetting something about chapter 1. You just spend some amount of time, go through the question, try to think the answer. Okay, don't look at the answer, try to think. Okay, it takes 1 hour, then it's over. Chapter 1 is over. Again, chapter 2 is over. Again, chapter 3 is over. So whenever you feel, or whenever you have some time, always try to give work for your mind. That is the only thing which is going to help make or useful in your examination. So try to do that. So the next point which I spoke just now, if I want to put it down in a paper, try to link the section numbers. When I say try to link the section numbers, it is you saw a question, okay, from which section, which provision, what that provision is talking about. All those things you try to think immediately, so your mind will get activated. Whenever you see the similar kind of question next time, that mind automatically knows that, okay, this is what it is there. See, even just take a simple example also. Even when you are eating food, having the food also, consider I am watching the mobile phone, I am not looking into the plate only. So I just take a bite and directly it will not go to here or here. Because it knows, this hand knows that my mind is also knows that it is already adjusted or linked in such a way that definitely the hand will go to the mouth itself. The same way, whenever you see that question or similar kind of question, if you make sure or practice enough number of times, definitely that is going to help. Whenever you again further revise, further see the questions in the main examination, that is how it is going to help. That is why try to link and try to give more work to the brain. It is almost 90% is about mind game only. So once you do that, link the section numbers with concept, etc. Once you do this, you now you saw the question, you know the concept, you can recollect the answer. But the next biggest problem which happens to the people here is, sir, I know the concept, but sometimes I can't write or reproduce the same answer in the examination. Why this happens? Because people lack the writing practice in while they are studying. They just start reading because it is theory paper, who is going to put so much amount of time. Don't do that. Whatever the weightage you are giving, importance given for other subjects, accounts, taxations, give the same importance even for this subject also. So what you have to do after that, you have to do the writing practice. writing practice. So it is like, if I summarize all those things, we have discussed three things. First, you have to read. Again, you have to, whenever you are reading, you have to understand definitely. Then you have to revise. Then you have to do the writing practice. These are the three key important takeaways from these whatever the things we have discussed till now. Then whenever you are writing, I am not asking you to, I know that your time is also precious, you would also need to study all the 6 papers. Again, you don't have sufficient time, you are doing the college, you are doing something else. Yes, I agree. That is why writing practice, whenever you are doing, don't take so much stress. Try to do it like, see, if you have 10 questions or 15 questions in a chapter, try to do at least few questions writing and practice, which you feel important. So when I say which I feel important, based on the question paper, RTP, MTP, number of times that is repeated, take such type of questions and start to do writing practice. Only few questions I am talking. Few questions. Once you do that revision of and writing practice of few questions, sir, how do I write? Is the important one. Should I write like a paragraph form, or is there any other way to write? As we always discuss in our class, the writing part is a very important part. Because the evaluator also always sees the structure of answer, how well you are producing that answer to him, because he is not evaluating only your paper. The more easy you make him to evaluate by looking into your paper, the more number of marks you are going to secure. Sir, how do we do it? Generally the questions are based on different kinds, and the one of the biggest question, which type of question which we have is the case type of question, case study type of question. There is like one company appointed auditor who is the first auditor, they give the provisions. The company applied this provisions, is it as per the Companies Act section 139, 140, all those things they are trying to ask by of a case. They give a story based on which we have to write the answer. Whenever it is a case based question, then the answer will always go on PFC format. We always do the writing practice in our class and based on PFC format. So what is this PFC format? PFC format is like going for provision, then analyzing the facts which are given in the question, then writing the conclusion in our own words. Writing the conclusion in our own words. For example, if I take just an example, if they are asked about appointment of an auditor of a non-government company in case of first auditor, I am talking about first auditor. Then first auditor for the non-government company has to be appointed by the board within 30 days. If the board fails again within 90 days, then members has to appoint it in the extraordinary general meeting. They have to call for the DGM. Everything has to be done. So that is what we call it as provision. As per section 139, if you remember the subsection, definitely write it. If you don't remember or if you get confused, don't go for subsection. Stopping at section is very important. Or not writing the wrong section is also very important. Sir, I am writing section 140 for appointment of auditor. You write entire provision perfectly, fact also perfectly, and conclusion also perfectly. But if you quote say other wrong section, instead of 139, if you quote for 140, then it's 1. I did that mistake when I am writing my C intermediate. So you don't do that mistake. So in a overconfidence, because I feel like I know that thing, how this can go wrong? No, that always have that this excitement of writing everything. So if you are 100% sure about it, then write it. If not, you just use a common language like as per the provisions of Companies Act 2013 or as per the provisions of FEMA. Again, you do anything which is easy for you to do it. But remembering the section number and writing it very important. So provision, first auditor of as per section 139 of Companies Act 2013, the first auditor of the government company will be appointed by, non-government company will be appointed by board of directors in the board meeting within 30 days. If they fail to appoint within 30 days, then again members will appoint within 90 days in the AGM by passing a resolution. Then they have to do these things. You have to write this is a provision. Fact is like company appointed, company did this. Is it, no, don't try to give the conclusion. It is what is there in the question. After writing the facts, then try to link the facts to the provision which we have given above. Based on the above provisions, in the given case, the appointment done by ABC Private Limited or ABC Limited is not as per the provisions of section 139. So this is what the company has to do. So try to give this as a conclusion. If you still want to make it more interesting, try to give, if you remember the penalty, try to give the penalty also, punishment, if that is there in the material. Don't try to be over smart with the evaluator or examiner. If whatever you remember, just write that. So this is what it is there. Why writing practice is required? Because you will be set to the examination mindset that how it has to be answered. If it is direct kind of question, if it is non-direct kind of question, difference between type of question, definition type of question, multiple different types of questions are there anyway that you can manage. I will try to make one separate video that how to attend the different types of questions, state type of question, explain type of question in the examination. So how do we write all those answers? I will try to make a separate video on that. So writing practice, one of the important thing is that thing. One more important thing for writing practice, advantage of writing practice is time management. Sir, what is time management? See, we have 100 marks to be written. For all the 100 marks, we have 180 minutes. So, for out of 180 minutes, consider we have MCQs. We take that out around 180 minutes, maybe some 30-35 minutes, because case studies are too big. Now 30 minutes was insufficient. If we keep it 30 minutes aside, we have still 150 minutes. So if it is for 10 marks question, you can have maximum 15 minutes of time. In that 15 minutes, you should read the question, understand it, what provisions has to be written, what provisions has to be linked to the main answer. Then again, how do we approach the entire answer from the beginning to the end? How do we carry that in the paper? So if it is for 5 marks, again 7.5 minutes. That is what we have to manage the time while you are writing the answers when you are practicing that. So this is one more thing. Then one very important thing many of the students, CS students ignore is an overconfidence or maybe lack of time or any other factor. The 7th point, which is very important and the last point for our discussion here is writing the mock test. Give at least 2 mock papers. I am telling at least 2 mock papers. Sir, what do you mean by giving 2 mock papers? Is it just seeing the mock test paper, seeing the answer, question and answer, just understanding it, and is it? No, I am trying to tell that you take like a simulator, that whatever the things which is going to happen in your examination, whenever you are writing this mock test paper, you sit in an environment which is exam kind of thing. Whenever you are sitting in that exam kind of environment, you feel like start exactly at 1:45, take the question paper. Like you take the printout of that question paper, don't try to keep it in a mobile or laptop or tab. Take a printout of question paper, keep it in hand. 15 minutes you read it. If you want extra time, you read it. Then divide the remaining time for the writing of answers. After that, start writing answers at 2 o'clock. Then exactly complete that at 5 o'clock. Sir, can I write while watching the TV? Can I write while seeing the Instagram? No. I am talking exam like environment. Will you carry the TV in case of examination? In exam center? Will you use the mobile phone in exam center? No, definitely not. Your mind should be 100% active. That means you should be in such an environment that there should be nothing to distract you. That is why I suggest, generally I tell everybody also, try to give some exams, mock exams which are conducted by institute. And that is where we mainly come into the picture with respect to the main exam ready part. So what we do in our offline centers is, we have a set of exam kind of environment which we make sure that there is sufficient gap between the students. Again, we have a question paper given at 1:45. Again, there is an invigilator who is going to give this, always oversee what is there happening. Exactly at 5 o'clock, not more 1 minute, not 1 minute more and 1 minute less. Try to collect the papers. So that is what we do it. Sir, anyway, if you definitely are here, like in the nearby Malleshwaram, nearby Basavangudi or Kengeri, definitely you can visit our branches. Anyway, all the links are things which are given under the description box. Even, sir, I am from some other place, I am from maybe Ballari, I am from Hubli, I am from different places where I can't travel for examination for so long, then don't worry, for you people, specifically for you people, we have a application as well as website, where you can write, once you take the subscription of that, you can download the paper. Once you download that paper, you can take a printout of it, again sit in your environment where you have such kind of thing, or you can go to some library also, public or some ICI library, sit there, write the examination, then submit that examination paper into our website or application wherever you have downloaded. Definitely that evaluated papers along with the comments, along with the recommendations, where you should correct, where you should evaluate, where you should cut down the amount of answer, where you should increase a bit, where you should underline some provisions, where you should write it in a structured format, where you should put it on a point wise format. All those things with suggestions are given back to you. Consider some 2 or 3 working days of time, which we make sure that. Sir, where is that test series? Where can we buy that? Definitely, all those things are given under the description box of this video. Please go there and please check it out. All the things, whatever you want, is at a fingertip. Anyway, you can come to our institute. There is no extra charge for that. You can sit here, study here, write the examination, get your paper evaluated in 2 to 3 days, and make improvement for your main examination. Don't take main examination as a mock examination. Mock examination we are giving to make sure that you are going to secure good number of marks, 60 plus, 70 plus in the main examination. That is what our purpose is. So see you all soon. Regarding the chapter wise importance, anyway I have made already a separate video on that. If it is not there, if you are not able to find that, then we will give the link for that in the description also. So try to follow that series or sequence of studies in the revision as well as reading part. So see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye. So if you like the video, please share it to the needy people where they can take the help of it. Like it, subscribe it. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Take care. Bye bye. See you.